there are powerful energies that you can invoke to transform your entire life. Let's talk about it. Hi, this is Harold, and welcome to the Sanctum. Welcome to a brand new series, and in this series, we're going to talk about mantras and deities. Now, those of you who have been following this channel for a little while, you probably already realize that this is a universal channel. I don't like to stick to one tradition, I like to explore all and many traditions. And we focused a lot about the Western traditions and Western Hermeticism and all of that. But now it's time to shift our focus into the Eastern sciences. In this series, we'll be focusing on using mantras to bring about certain energies that can change your life in positive ways, whether that's bringing more abundance into your life, whether that's bringing love into your life, whether that's enhancing spiritual growth, whether that's dissolving anxieties and helping you find yourself, or improving your career, bringing more clients to you. There are ways that we can do this, and people seem to misunderstand, first of all, what a mantra really is. So first, before we can move into deities and working with deities, now we'll be mainly focusing on deities from the Vedic tradition, the Indian yogic tradition, as well as deities in the Tibetan tradition, right, in the Tibetan Tantric Buddhist tradition. As the word mantra, in general, it is a Sanskrit word. The word mantra comes from the word manasa, the word manas, and the word tra, right? So the word manas in Sanskrit, when you translate it in English, it means the mind, and tra means a device, right? So mantra is a device for the mind, right? A device to hold the mind. And oftentimes when you say a mantra, you are repeating certain words. It usually starts with the sound Om, but this is not always the case in certain traditions, especially in the Tibetan traditions. Isn't always the case. And so when it comes to mantra, you're repeating certain words that are composed of certain syllables that create certain vibrations. And when you start to repeat them and really focus and hone your attention on those vibrations that are being produced, it starts to make your own system reverberate with that specific vibration. Okay, so there's a mantra, right? There's a certain sound or a bunch of syllables that create a certain sound that creates the vibration of abundance and brings to you that abundance, because you are resonating with that frequency and it opens the way for that to come into your life. And in the next few videos in this series, I'll be talking more about my personal experiences, as we'll be covering each aspect of each aspect related to mantras. So whether that's bringing in abundance, whether that's bringing in love, spiritual growth, etc., we'll be focusing on those various aspects, including some of my own success in using mantras to change my life and change myself. So these stuff actually work, and I think I've already mentioned before that I don't share anything in this channel that I have not tried or that hasn't worked for me. Everything I share on this channel has worked for me. If for some reason I haven't tried it, I always let people know. So everything that I'll be sharing are things that I've tried and have worked for me. Okay, and if it can work for me, it can work for you. So when we repeat a certain mantra over and over again, when we reverberate it, when we vibrate it, we start to embody that frequency in which that mantra represents. Okay, so if it's abundance, after a while it puts us into that vibration of abundance. If it's love, it puts us into that vibration of love. If it's compassion, it puts us into that vibration of compassion. Right? And now oftentimes mantras, not always, but oftentimes mantras are related to specific deities, whether that's in the Indian tradition, in the Indian yogic tradition, or in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. Mantras are usually related to a specific deity. And now there are thousands of deities in both traditions, and these deities represent certain energetic forms. Okay, and we shall be exploring these energetic forms. For example, certain deities might be related to financial growth. Certain deities might be focused on individual liberation, the liberation of consciousness. Other deities might rule dreams. Other deities might rule removing obstacles from your life. Other deities might rule bringing love into your life. So all of these different help can represent a different form of energy, right? And the mantra that you repeat help those energies of that specific deity to start to pour into your life, and you start to receive the blessing of that specific deity. Now, I'm not trying to say that this is a real entity up in the sky or anything like that, right? I'm not trying to say it is or it isn't. What I'm trying to say is there might be an energetic form that exists in an archetypal sense, and these mantras are like keys that allow those energies to pour into our life, and thereby benefiting our life in a certain way. Okay, and it doesn't require belief in a specific deity or anything like that, because it's once again it comes down to an ancient science of sound and vibration. Okay, an ancient science of sound and vibration, and if you do this every single day, it works. It really creates changes, immense changes in your life. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Okay, but essentially, in general, you want to repeat a mantra at least 108 times. You can do 21 times if you don't have time in a day, but you can sit down and say it, or you can simply say it in your mind, right? But what I like to do is, if you do have what's known as a mala or one of these necklaces, this specific one is called a rudraksha, and it's got 108 beads. This makes it very easy to keep track of the mantras when you're saying it, because there are 108 beads, and you simply start here on the first bead, and you say the mantra, and you keep moving through the beads until you go through the whole necklace and come back to the other side, where this indicator is there to tell you that you've come all the way back to the you've completed the circle. So therefore you've done 108 mantras. So some mantras are very simple and short, and some mantras are a lot longer, and we shall be talking a lot more about these mantras in the next few videos. I just wanted you to have a basic understanding, and as a form of an introduction to this series, before we begin diving deep into every element of it. Okay, now be aware that there are all sorts of mantras. In actual fact, I'm sure there's a mantra for absolutely everything and anything. There are even hidden mantras or secret mantras. There are mantras that can give you psychic abilities or help you read people's minds and things like that. But these mantras are not recommended, nor is it a means to an end. But there are those sorts of mantras as well. Now, oftentimes these mantras are kept hidden and only transmitted from guru to disciple. So it's very hard to find these sorts of mantras, but nevertheless they do exist. Yeah. But the mantras that I'll be sharing with you are things to improve your well-being, your abundance, your business, your love life, as well as to connect you to yourself, to remove obstacles in your life and remove obstacles to your own spiritual development and help you connect to yourself. Okay, so please do stay tuned, and if you haven't already, please click that like button, click the subscribe button and the bell icon, and I shall see you very soon.